You guys know that the Burda and Simplicity fall patterns just dropped. So I'm going to show you those. So if that's some content you would like to see, please continue to watch.
I remember, I don't everywhere in town. Think about the ways to get my bird up. Trying to see the train we was up. I got no resentment of it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Rochelle from Rochelle.Handmade.Designs, and in this video I'm going to keep it short, sweet, and to the point, but I'm going to be hitting you guys with 20 patterns. 3 of them just happen to be Burda, and the other 17 patterns just happen to be Simplicity patterns that I am looking at picking up doing the next Simplicity sales when the fall patterns are in my store. Now, I have not been to Joann's yet to see if they're in my stores, but because they're just dropped on the simplicity.com website, I'm pretty sure it's not there yet, but you could check your local Joann's when you go to make sure that it's there. All right. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Hello, ciao, guten tag, aloha, hola, konnichiwa, wagwan, sambanani, salon, bonjour. If you are returning, go get you a quick snack, something to drink, and let's go ahead and get into this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right on into it. But before I do so, I'm going to tell you that the ad for this week starting tomorrow, Thursday, August the 10th, 2023. The sale ad is Burda for $2.99, Vogue for $5.99. It starts tomorrow, Thursday, August 10th, 2023. I'm going to go ahead and put that up on the screen for you to see that. And let's go ahead and get right on into the video. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the 3 Burda patterns that I am looking at. And then we're going to go ahead and get into Simplicity patterns. So the first pattern is Burda 5851, which is the Mrs. Dress. It's a oversized hoodie style dress with inseam pockets. You know, basically you could do like wide frills at the bottom. You could do, you know, it basically puts a new twist to it. I do like hoodie patterns for sure. It is a super easy pattern as well. So very, very easy to sew. So that's why I am looking at picking up this pattern. I wish it was going to be in my Joann's during the sale of $2.99 sale, but I'm pretty sure it's not. But in terms of sizes, it goes 8 to 22. That's the only size for this pattern. Now for me, I am looking at doing view B on the pattern. I really think that I would get around to this for the fall time because with this pattern, it doesn't seem like it's many pattern pieces. So this would be a quick sew in my opinion, but because I don't have the pattern, it's hard for me to tell you guys that. But yeah, in terms of fabric, you would definitely need like you could use cotton fabric, you could use some sweatshirting fabric, you can use jersey fabric. So, you know, for this pattern, you know, you can use many different fabrics as well. All right, but once again, it is 5851. Moving over to the next pattern, it's 5855. For this one, it is a Burda easy pattern as well. It's super easy, very easy, whatever you want to call it. But this is a Mrs. jacket and coat pattern. It is a casual jacket, you know, that you could slip on and feel good in as well. For this one, you can use like some teddy plush or some wool fabric, just to name a few. So jacket B uses different fabric, whereas the view C has a longer coat, minimum, and sleek as well. Now for this pattern, it comes once again in 8 to 22. Now what that 8 to 22 looks like is a bust size between the sizes of 34 and 48. So this one does have, you know, very, you know, nice size range for sure. But in terms of fabric, you could use denim, you could use wools, you could use wool blend, fake fur, or faux fur instead of fake fur. But those are some of the fabrics that you can use, all right? But once again, it's 5855, Burda 5855. Moving over to the last pattern, which is also a Burda easy to sew pattern, very easy, super easy type pattern. This is a Mrs. Blouse pattern. So it's basically a slip-on blouse top. You can make it in solid fabric. You can make it in floral print. You can make it in whatever print you want. If you want to make it in Ankara print, you could do that as well. It does have different sleeve variations. And to me, it just seems like a peplum style top. Nothing more than that. But I can definitely see why I gravitate to this pattern, because you can extend that peplum portion and make it a dress and make it do what it do. And then, you know, use the pattern to your advantage. You can make it short sleeve, you can make it long sleeve, you can make a slit sleeve, you can make a puff sleeve, you can make it a dress, you can make it a crop top, you could make it a drop waist. I mean, so this pattern could be used as kind of like a guideline, you know, to do many different things for this pattern as well. Now, in terms of fabric, you could basically use any type of fabric of your choosing. One thing that I would say is you can use cotton fabric, you can use crepe, rayon, cotton blends, just to name a few for sure, but I would use this as a guide to make something else. So for me, I would trace the pattern and then make something else with it, all right? But those are 3 patterns that I'm looking at picking up during the Burda sale. Probably not this one, but the next time they're on sale. These are the 3 that I'm looking at picking up. Now that I showed the Burda patterns, let's go ahead and get over to the simplicity patterns. So the first pattern is a 9803. So I'm not going to say simplicity because the rest of them are simplicity. So we're just going to start with the number. Let's start there. All right. So the first one is 9803, which is a bag and 4 different style patterns. So you have your slouchy lined bag, you have your bucket bag, you have your sling bag, and then you have like a round purse that has a purchase handle for that. Now, for this pattern, it comes in both paper and PDF. With most accessory patterns, it comes in like one size fits all. So it's not like a sizing, you just cut it, you do what it do. Now for me, I want to make more sling bags and round bags and stuff like that. I do have a lot of purses that are purchased, but I do not have a lot of things that I have made. Now for me, when it comes to fabric, let's talk about fabric. So when it comes to fabric, you can use canvas, cotton duck, cotton types, denim, icat, linen types, just to name a few. Now for me, for what I would do is use some canvas or cotton duck, just to name a few of the fabrics that I would use when I get around to this pattern. This is one of the patterns that I'm putting on my top list for the fall, and I'm planning on doing the sling bag. All right, moving over to the next pattern is 9804. Now, one thing I will mention is I just bought my daughter a bicycle to ride to school because school will be starting Thursday the 10th. And I feel like, you know, this pattern would be perfect for her to put her water bottles and, you know, snacks and stuff in the front of the bicycle, because this pattern is a bicycle basket, bag, and pinners. So with this pattern, I just feel like, you know, you can put a water bottle, you can put some snacks, you can put, you know, different things on this, or a scooter as well. It claims to be an easy to sew pattern. This is a one size fit all. In terms of fabric, any fabric of your choosing, cotton, you know, you could use cotton, you could use denim, you could use any type of woven fabric, to be honest with you. But canvas is one, a cotton blend, denim, lightweight or heavyweight home decor fabric as well. Twill, poplin, just to name a few. But yeah, this is 9804, and I really like this pattern. Moving over to the next one, it's 9805. Now this one is a pinafore apron or a tote. Now for me, I'm not here for the tote. I have many tote patterns. I am here all for that pinafore. It is an easy to sew pattern in terms of, you know, skill level, easy to sew. This is a extra small to extra large pattern, so it's just one side. You know, it's a relaxed fit pinafore apron for sure. It does have a self-lined bodice, crossover bag, gathered skirt as well. It also has, you have view A, which comes without the ruffles. View B comes with the ruffle, but both of the aprons have patch pockets. Now, you can make it not like an apron and use some cute fabric and make it like a dress too, which is what I would probably do. Also, the tote bag is lined. That comes with the strap as well. The pattern also comes with like motif and instructions for embroidering if you choose to do that as well. But yeah, this is a really nice pattern as well. In terms of fabric, chambray, cotton types, linen type, sheer sucker, just to name a few. The only notion you need is twill tape, but it's optional. So definitely put this down on your no notion pattern. If you have not seen my video on the 85 patterns that I showed you guys for no notions, go to that video. I'll put it on the end screen as well as in the description box below. You're welcome. All right, let's go ahead and get over to the next pattern, which is 9811. So this pattern is for you know, the individuals who have children or literally have grandchildren or whatnot, this is like a children's warm and cold pack and cover. Now, I'm always struggling, you know, dealing with cold packs and putting it around a towel. So I feel like this pattern would be great for my kiddos. Now, they really don't get sick very often, but you know, with fevers and everything, I don't get that very often. Knock on some wood to make sure that they don't get sick. But this is a cute little cold pack and cover for the kiddos. I really don't feel like I need to explain this, but it's a one size fit all for the sizing as well. In terms of fabric, you know, basically you can use whatever kind of fabric you want for sure. But for me, I would probably use fleece or flannel for this one for sure. But in terms of fabric, you can use cotton, you can use fusible fleece as well, just to name a few of the fabrics. It is an easy to sew pattern, if I did not say that already. All right, moving over to the next pattern, it's 9814. Now with this pattern, it is a three bags that you can use. I'm sorry, you have a hat in 3 sizes, a duffel bag and a tote bag. You also could use it for a cosmetic case, an eye case, and a luggage tag as well. This is the Laura Ashley pattern. Now this pattern comes in all sizes, basically from small to large, contrast fabric lining, and a back bow for the hat. The duffel bag and the tote and the cosmetic bag have contrast binding if you choose to make it contrast. It does have a zipper closure as well. Now, just make sure that for that luggage tag, you also get some clear vinyl window and a grommet. So don't forget those notions. This is an average to sew pattern as well. But yeah, you can use any type of fabric of your choosing. I would probably do a color block and let that be the reason, but I plan on doing that duffel bag when I get around to this pattern. All right, so this is 9814. Moving over to the next pattern, it's 9821. Now this is an average to sew pattern. It is a missus blouse with collar, sleeve and hem variations. It also features like a corset waist detail shirt. Also have that front button closure, collar band options, long sleeves with the cuffs as well. Or you can make it sleeveless like you see in view C. View B have kind of like that contrast going on at the bodice as well. I'm not here for that. But one thing I will mention is both view A and view B, view A and view C, as in Charlie, has pin tucks. So if you have never done pin tucks, this pattern may give you the blues. If you have never done pin tucks as well, it is an average to sew pattern. So one thing that I will mention is in the description box below, there is a link to the Google form. And in that Google form, I will allow you guys to vote on the fall pattern that you think that I should do a sew along for. But you have to go to the Google form. I'm going to leave the Google form open. I'm going to leave the Google form open until Sunday, September the 3rd. So it gives you enough time. I will mention it several times before then, so you could go ahead and vote on the next sew along pattern. It also gives you enough time to pick up the patterns. All right. So one thing that I will mention in terms of sizing is 6 to 14 and then 16 to 24 on this pattern as well. When it comes to fabric, you know, like definitely, you know, you can use your cotton, double gauze, shirt and fabric, basically any type of woven fabric. But if you're going to use cotton fabric, make sure it's not a see-through fabric. Make sure you have like a nice structure, kind of like a medium weight type fabric. All right. Moving over to the next pattern, which is Mimi G herself. Yes, definitely. I love this jumpsuit. It's 9822. Mimi's jumpsuit. It also has either you could do snaps or button closures at the front, the center front. It has pleats at the waist for sure. You have long sleeves with the cuffs, back, you know, bodice yoke, because, you know, like with any button down, you pretty much have a yoke for sure. It also has a front pocket and your choice of either wide leg pants or tapered pants. Now for me, I'm loving the wide leg, but you know, in terms of what I would want, I would probably want both, but I could see doing the tapered pants for the jumpsuit, but then just make a pair of pants that's just the white leg version. All right, so that's what I could see myself doing, but it seemed like a lot of pieces. I'm not gonna leave them front. But in terms of sizing, it's 8 to 16 and 18 to 26 on that second envelope. Now, in terms of fabric, so with fabric, you know, denim, linen, microfiber, poplin, twill, sateen, just to name a few. Now, for me, I feel like I would probably use a twill in order to do this fabric. I'm sorry, this pattern as well, but I like it. If you did not do her last jumpsuit pattern, like 2 jumpsuits patterns that I would say is fabulous for Mimi G, I would definitely say her jumpsuit pattern 8060, Simplicity 8060. I hope she reissue that pattern. So listen, you guys, hit up Mimi G for that pattern. See if she could release it in a PDF or just completely bring that pattern back, y'all, because that pattern right there is definitely fire. The other pattern that I would say is amazing, I just haven't sewn it yet, it's on my list to sew, you guys. It's Simplicity 9234, which was that puff sleeve, sleeveless jumpsuit thing going on. I like that pattern. I just haven't sewn it together yet, but it's on my list to definitely sew. All right. I know I get to ask this all the time, so I'm just going to say this one time. What type of tracing paper I used? It is like the medical exam paper from Amazon. It is like a tracing paper roll. It's like a trace paper, translucent, clear tracing paper. You can use it for drawing, you can use it for tracing, you can use it for sewing, you can use it for many different things. I was asked this in my last video, so I'm going to put the link to Amazon in the description box below. So just make sure you open up that description box so you can see all the links to different things that I have mentioned in this video. All right, getting back into it, the next pattern is Simplicity 9823, which is some pair of pants. So you guys already know your girl is doing these pants, okay? It is an easy to sew pattern. Now the pants are in 2 different lengths. So these pants have front pleats, back darts, belt carriers, front pockets, front seam details, shaped flap at the center front, zipper, and a button closure. All right. So speaking of zipper closures and button closures, this one has both. So if you have not seen my video, this or that, when I talked about I prefer a zip button closure, a zip closure versus a button closure, I like both. And this one has both. So you'll be able to see both of those in this pattern if you decide to do so. All right. So view A has that front slip on the leg. You guys know I don't care about that front slit situation. I just want a complete pair of pants. All right. And it's easy to sew. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know how easy, how it's rated as easy to sew when you have to deal with a zipper and a button, but to each his own. Whoever designed this pattern decided that it's easy to sew in terms of construction. All right. Now, in terms of sizing, it's 6 to 14 and 16 to 24 on that second envelope. In terms of fabric, many different fabrics, woven preferably, denim, lightweight wools, linen, poplin, rayon blend, sateen, just to name a few. Now for me, I would probably do these in a linen or a poplin. One or the other, because I have both in my stash that I think would go very well with this pattern. It comes in both paper or PDF pattern for sure. All right, but this is 9823. Moving over to the next one is Mimi G. 9824. It is an average to sew pattern, and you guys, this one, yes, I like that relaxed fit oversized coat in 2 lengths. Now this pattern has drop shoulders, shaped lapel, 7/8 inch sleeves with a band at the hem. It also has patch pockets with flaps and button closures. All right, it's an average to sew pattern. Of course, it's a coat, so average to sew in most cases for any type of oversized coat, right? Now this pattern only comes in one size. It's extra small to extra large. So make sure you are looking at those finished garment measurements when you are picking your pattern. Do not be afraid to open up the pattern in Joann's to make sure you get the right size. But because the size is one sizing, extra small to extra large, you shouldn't have a problem, because according to the finished garment measurement, this pattern deals with a bust of a 50.5 all the way up to 64, with the waist being a 49.5 to 63 and the hips being a 51 to 64.5. So I feel that this pattern is size inclusive. So that's one thing that I will say, that even though it's supposed to be an oversized coat, make sure that it's oversized. I mean, some people may want it, you know, a little tame to their body, but I would want mine a little oversized. All right. Not much of an oversized, but I want mine oversized. All right. But this is 98.24. Let's move over to the next pattern. Next pattern is 98.25. Yes, I love this Mrs. jacket. All right. So this pattern is a average to sew pattern. It's a double busted, double breast line jacket with shoulder pads and optional contrast lapel, or you have the front patch pockets with flaps as well. Now me, I'm here for view A. That is the one with the flaps and the patch pockets on the front. Now me personally, I don't care for pockets on the front, but I like that detail of what the model is wearing, so I might just tolerate it and deal with it. All right, so A is what I'm going for sure. Now let's talk about sizing. So the pattern comes in two sizes, 8 to 16 and 18 to 26 on this pattern. All right. Now, in terms of fabric, any type of fabric, denim, flannel, linen, type, sateen, or wool blends, just to name a few. Now, if you're doing view B with the contrast, you can use suede, satin, sateen, faux leather. You know, you could just do a different flannel or a different crepe or a different denim, whatever you choose. That's completely up to you. It's a personal preference, right? That's why we sew. But once again, this is 98.25. Moving over to the next one. Now, this pattern is 98.26 and 98.27. So 98.26 is the Mrs. pattern. Now, it's pants in two length, a camisole, and a cardigan. So this is more like a wardrobe type pattern where you could do a complete look with this one pattern, which I am here for. All right, put the look together with one pattern. Yes, Rochelle's always here for it, right? So the pants is pleated white leg pants in two lengths. It has a white waistband, belt loops with some top stitching, side seam pockets, back welt pockets if you choose to do that as well. And then you complete the look by throwing in the camisole and a cardigan. All right. Now the cardigan is a knit cardigan. I'll show you that in the back as well. But the cardigan is a V neckline and patch pockets. But of course, you know, you could omit those if you do not want those. Now, when it comes to sizing, for the Mrs. pattern, it comes in two envelopes, 4 to 12 or 12 to 20. Now, in terms of the woman's envelope, it also comes in two sizes, and those sizes are 20W to 28W and then 30W to 38W on this pattern. All right. Now, if you're looking at fabric, I already mentioned that the cardigan is a knit cardigan, but if you are doing like the camisole silky types for sure, and then the pants view A or view B, you can use gabardine, linen, satin, stretch wovens, twill, cotton blends, just to name a few there. Like I mentioned, it is an average to sew pattern, so you will need a couple of skills in order to do this pattern. But once again, it's 98.26 and 98.27. Moving over to the next pattern, it's 98.28. Now this, you guys know I love sweatsuits and pants and stuff like that. And you know your girl is all about those cargo pants, okay? So when I've seen this pattern, you guys already know. Rochelle, yes, definitely. Like, my name's written all over this pattern. Let's just be real. So this pattern is a front half zip sweatshirt. So the sweatshirt kind of reminds me of when I did #sewing5 and below. McCall's, I can't remember the number. I think it's 8341. The only difference is it actually has a front pocket, like a kangaroo style pocket. So I do like that feature right there for the sweatshirt. And the one that I made was also a half zip sweatshirt as well. Now this pattern has drop shoulders, long elasticated sleeves. It has the electric cord at the waist and front pocket with the contrast flap. Now you don't have to do the contrast flap, but I think it looks cool with a contrast flap. Now in terms of the pants, they're pull-on track pants, have tie cording, have elastic at the waist. What do you need? You just need some elastic. It also has like cargo pockets at the side and also have a zipper on the cargo pants. So you will need a zipper, all right? Now, in terms of sizing, extra small to extra large on this pattern. In terms of fabric, you will definitely need like some fleece, ponte, micro fleece as well. if you do view A, which is the top, you can use canvas, cotton blend, ripstop, nylon, twill, just to name a few. But make sure you have some lightweight interfacing as well. Definitely, you want that interfacing. All right, but this pattern is 9828. Moving over to the next one is 9829, which is an easy to sew pattern. This pattern is like a men's half zip hoodie. Now, I'm not sure what's the difference between the two. The only thing is one pattern has the flap, which is 9828, and the other one has like a kangaroo style pocket where you put your hands in on the side. All right. Now this pattern goes from small to extra, extra large. And this pattern continues around the back, basically the kangaroo and the flap continues around the back. It has elastic and contrast at the sleeves and a hem band as well. All right. Now, in terms of fabric for 9829, for this zip hoodie style pattern, you can use corduroy, cotton blends, flannel, French terry, lightweight denim, just to name a few. But yeah, this is 9829. It's not for my husband. It will be for me, okay? Because I do like, putting things like this on in the winter time. I like flannel, but I'm thinking I would probably do this in corduroy as well. All right, moving over to the next pattern. It is a Madeline pattern. Yes, if you are not familiar with Madeline patterns, Madeline does a lot of, intimate type patterns. She does a lot of bra panties type patterns as well. I love her patterns, and I own every last one that she have put out. All right, since she started with Simplicity. But this pattern is 9833. It's a Mrs. and Woman's bra, penny, and thong pattern. Thong, 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 thong. So for this pattern, it is a bra with adjustable straps, mono wire, back bra hook closure, and light padded quarter cups. It has layered stretch lace as well, detailed in cup sizes. So it comes with different cup sizes. And the cup sizes range from A through J. Now, take your bust measurement and measure it according to the pattern. I have never sewn a bra pattern, so yeah, this will be probably one of the first ones when I get out of the fear of sewing some bras. All right, I will do one. But it does have like a peekaboo front cutout. It has contrast front as well. Now this pattern range in extra small to 4X, so size inclusive as well. And it's an average to sew pattern. If you are not familiar with Madeline, she does her own sew alongs. So yeah, follow Madeline on Simplicity website for that sew along when it drops. All right. But once again, this is a Madeline intimate pattern, 9833. Moving over to the next pattern. Now this pattern I'm on the fence about, to be honest. It's 9834. It's a hat pattern based from the 1930s to 1940s. So the hat comes in different types of views. You have, view A through view E on this pattern. I like it, but I'm on the fence because I do like view E. I also like view A on this pattern. It's an average to sew pattern. And with this pattern, it's all, one size fit all on most of these as well. So like I mentioned, I'm on the fence, to be honest. I like view E, but I'm not 100% on it. If I'm being honest, I'm not sure if I would actually get this pattern just for one view, but we don't know, because I do like, to put hats on my head and stuff like that. And after doing that Paris collection, I think view D and view E would have been amazing. So I might pick this up, but I don't know yet. We'll know when I pick it up. All right. But once again, this is 9834. Moving over to the next pattern, it's 9835. Now this pattern is the dress in a pinafore apron style pattern. Yes, I know, another pinafore type pattern. It's an easy to sew pattern. Now for this pattern, you have your pull on dress, which is what you see in view A. It has front buttons. It has a convertible collar. It has pin tuck bodice as well. Elastic waist, and it has short puff sleeves, lace on the trims, which is optional if you want that as well. And then you also have the apron. It's like a roomy style apron. It's above the knees, or you can make it below the knees. It's up to you, and two different lengths. It also has the patch pockets on the side. It has side ties that can be tied around the back for a snug fit. Or you also have like the more relaxed fit as well for this pattern. So I do like this pattern as well. In terms of sizing, extra small to extra large on this pattern. And then in terms of fabric, I would say any type of woven fabric, your cottons, linen type, shearsucker, calico, chambray, just to name a few. All right. But this pattern is $98.35. Moving over to the last pattern, before you ask me why I decided on this pattern, it is a costume pattern, okay? And if you guys have not seen that costume pattern I did before, I have done 2 jackets that are actually costume patterns, okay? Yes, I did that. One of the patterns that I did, it is an Ankara jacket. And I'm going to put it up on the screen because I cannot remember in its entirety the pattern number. I think it's 9354, but I'm not 100% sure on that pattern number. So I'd rather put it up on the screen. A 9354, I think is what it is. And this pattern was more of like a hooded anorak style pattern that you could make into like a shark, a panda, a cat, or a enchanted godmother. I did view A on this pattern, which is the shark, but I made it in an Ankara fabric, and yeah, it's a costume pattern, you know, like, and that's not the only costume pattern that I have done. I have also done the Cruella de Vil pattern. It was a jacket that I did a couple of years ago. I'll put the video in the description box below, as well as on the end screen for that pattern as well. I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but I think that pattern was 9242, 9244, something like that. I'll put it up on the screen because I can't remember off the top of my head, but I did a pattern review for that. And I also did a sew along for that jacket as well. Now, I did not do a sew along for the Ankara anorak hoodie style jacket made out of a costume pattern. I did just a pattern review, but there is a sew along for the Cruella de Vil jacket from when the movie released. All right, Cruella movie release. All right, now back to this pattern. It's 9843. It's a costume pattern. Now the reason why I like this is because, of course, if you guys don't know, I'm not doing it as a costume pattern. I like the fact that it's a blazer. All right, it's more like a blazer. It's a semi-fitted, unlined, double-breasted jacket, and it's for a woman. All right, so it has optional shoulder pads. View B has your pockets. It comes with a fitted top. The fitted top has like the mock front button band, collar band, button, cuffs, long sleeves, and a narrow hem. Now, it also features a skirt. And that skirt is pleated skirt. It has a waistband, a side zipper, and 2 lengths. And this skirt is cut on the crosswise grade. All right. Now, I'm not here for the skirt, if I'm being honest, but I do like the shirt and the jacket or coat for this. All right. But once again, it's 9843. In terms of sizing, it's 6 to 14 and then 16 to 24. In terms of the fabric for this pattern, you could basically any type of fabric. You can use cotton, you can use linen, you could use suiting, gabardine, twill, you name it. I think I would probably do this in a brocade. I have some brocade in my stash, so that's probably what I would do for this pattern. All right. Well, that's all the patterns that dropped. Well, the patterns that I'm looking at picking up that dropped today, August the 9th, 2023. I hope you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to open up the description box below to that Google form so you could vote on the sew along for the fall. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. And since you made it this far, do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, and also smash that notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. So I'll catch you in the next video. And as always, keep sewing.
I remember I don't everywhere in town. Thinking about the ways to get my bird up. Trying to see the train with Rochelle.